something in the basement. It was an old photograph, yellowed with age. When everyone gathered around to look at it, they realized it was Joan's wedding photo with her first husband. He had been a soldier, and during those war-filled years, he died on the battlefield. Even after all these years, that memory remained a quiet wound deep in Joan's heart. Larry was curious about the man in the photo. He leaned in, trying to take a closer look, but before he could see clearly, a butterfly cookie suddenly got stuck in his throat. Just like that, Larry died without warning. The roaring sound of a train echoed in his ears. Larry slowly came back to consciousness. When he opened his eyes, he was standing on a train, and he looked like a middle-aged man again. Before he could understand what was happening, an announcement suddenly blasted through the speakers. The volume was painfully loud. His ears rang with sharp pain. He quickly removed his hearing aid. As the train pulled into the station, Larry was shocked to see that almost everyone around him got off. Still confused, he followed the crowd into a massive station. He tried asking people nearby for help, but their responses only made things more confusing.
Hi, can you help me?
Your AC will be with you shortly.
Are you an AC?
Yes, but I'm not your AC. Come.
Looking around at the unfamiliar place, Larry had no idea what to do, so he sat down on a nearby bench, waiting for the so-called afterlife coordinator to come find him. After what felt like a long time, his coordinator finally appeared.
Who are you?
I'm Anna, I'm your AC,
What does that stand for?
your afterlife coordinator.
Annie explained that she would be responsible for guiding Larry through the afterlife. Larry did not want to believe it, but the truth was simple. He was already dead. Looking down, he noticed the small pink slip he had dropped on the bench. At that moment, Larry finally learned something joyful. His great-grandchild was a girl. He followed Annie through the station, repeatedly telling her about the strange experience he had just gone through. Still, he refused to accept the fact that he was dead. Seeing this, Annie took out a small mirror she carried with her. The moment Larry looked into it, he finally accepted the truth. This place was a massive transit hub. Everyone who arrived here took on the appearance of the happiest time in their lives. That was why so many children seemed to be here. For many people, childhood had been their happiest years. Annie told Larry that every soul who arrived here had 7 days. Within those 7 days, they had to choose an eternal world they wished to live in forever. But hearing this left Larry overwhelmed, because he could not stop thinking about Joan, who was still suffering from illness. Annie reminded him again and again to think carefully. Once a choice was made, it could never be changed. Just then, an announcement suddenly echoed through the station. It was a notice about a fugitive. Every eternal world had a red door. Anyone who passed through it would return to this station, but doing so would make them a wanted fugitive to all administrators. And once they were caught, they would be exiled to a void filled with endless suffering. Finally, Annie brought Larry to his room. Every detail inside had been designed according to his personal preferences. Even the clothes in the closet were exactly the styles Larry loved. After leaving a few brochures about different eternal worlds, Annie quietly left the room. Larry tried turning on the television to pass the time, but every single channel was just another advertisement for an eternal world. With nothing else to do, Larry stepped outside the station to get some fresh air. He eventually found a small bar, but what Larry could never have imagined was that the bartender standing before him was Luke, Joan's first husband. After arriving here, Luke had chosen not to enter any eternal world. Instead, he